Have you ever thought that success is a problem and that it can become a bigger problem than failing? Today's devotion comes from Philippians 3, 8, and 9. For this sake I have suffered the loss of all things and count them as rubbish, in order that I may gain Christ and be found in him, not having a righteousness of my own that comes from the law, but that which comes through faith in Christ. When you achieve success, be careful not to fall into a trap of thinking that all is well because of what you've done. Always remember that grace is not for achievers, it's for those who are bankrupt. Blessed are the poor in spirit, Matthew says. Blessed are they who have nothing, who need all things, who only know how to beg. The line of reasoning that Jesus uses is that your values based on your own righteousness are inconsistent with his righteousness. When you ignore your union with Christ and begin to think of yourself as an independent religious achiever, you end up living like an orphan. Let me read that again. When you ignore your union with Christ and begin to think of yourself as an independent religious achiever, you end up living like an orphan. In other words, if you're living out of your own success, you're actually living in an orphan state. This is why Paul not only wants to gain Christ, but also to be found in him. Christ himself is where you are and where you're heading. You maintain your union with Christ, you run after it, and you do it by shedding your own ability to perform. You're always trying to get a clear understanding of what Christ did for you in taking away the penalty of sin and making you acceptable to God. It's not that grace justifies and the law sanctifies. It's that it's all of grace. And so when we look at our own success, what happens to us is that we can fall into the idea that somehow we're doing it. And that is what produces anxiety in our life and the orphan mentality. So learn how to trust in everything you do for Christ's sake.